I would like to now say one or two words on staffing. I did say earlier that you housed some of the best brains in our civil service. I think it was about time we established a Foreign Service Commission that would ensure that only the best would join the service, groomed to becoming ambassadors and our flag bearers worldwide. Again, I'd like to say that I'm a bit unhappy to see that government after government, politically elected governors, governments, have in the past few years made it almost impossible for young men and young women who put their lives into training to becoming our flag bearers, not becoming ambassadors on their retirement. This is not right. In my time, we had a 70-30 ratio, 70% for career ambassadors and 30% for non-career ambassadors. We must go back to that because it is frustrating for a young man or young woman to come into service, aiming to becoming an ambassador and finishing the service because there was no slot for him or her to be appointed ambassador. Again, say this from my background as a soldier. When you join the military, your aim is to be a general, all right? And if anything dare stop your career progression and you retire ever so soon, you would go home feeling that the system had underchanged you. And so let us plead with the government of the day that going forward, we should return to the 70-30 ratio, even 80-20 ratio, so that these young men and young women who put their life in service reach and get to the top of their service. Again, funding. From experience, I recall the time as foreign minister when we started budgeting on the naira. It became impossible for me to keep my missions going abroad. I had to make a special plea to the president, Babangida at the time, to say there was no how we can budget for the foreign ministry in naira and expect us to meet our aims and objectives abroad. Babangida agreed, and therefore we started budgeting, having two sections of our budget. For the home staff, we budgeted in naira, but for my missions, we budgeted in dollars. So I want to plead with the government one more time to please fund the foreign ministry, fund our missions so they don't owe anybody any money, so they're not compromised. Because if you expose people to temptation, quite a few will stand up to that temptation. So please let us fund the foreign ministry properly, staff them properly, give them the motivation to deliver on their objectives.